Thank you very much, Yuval. Now I would like to get Ms. Hoffenberg opening statement, please.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to stay here because I think that the best way to speak about peace is between two former generals of the Israeli army. And before I start my remarks, if you may allow, I would like to salute and to pay tribute to somebody who's in front of me who has been a great soldier of Israel on the battlefields, on the economy field, but also a great soldier for peace, Mr. Dov Lotman. And I'm very honored to speak in front of you, Mr. Lotman. So 2 years ago, I've been appointed by President Sarkozy as special envoy for the economic, for the environmental, for the educational, for the commercial aspect of the peace process, which I'm going to tell you is one of the longer titles of the French Republic. What does it mean? It means that President Sarkozy wanted me to look at this peace process on the other way and to see what concretely could be done on the field. I'm not a diplomat. People in my country will tell you. I'm somebody who comes from the private sectors. I'm somebody who comes from lobbying. And I wanted to see what was possible to do on the ground. I spoke with an ambassador from the European Union that was sitting next to me. And he asked me, how did you succeed to implement an industrial zone in Bethlehem? The Germans have tried, the Japanese have tried, the Turkish have tried, and they felt so many difficulties. How come that you, in 2 years, you have already to start to implement this industrial zone? And the answer is very simple. Collaboration, cooperation with Israel. What is my secret? This is my secret. Cooperation and collaboration between the Palestinian government and the Israeli government. Collaboration between the Israeli different ministries. Ministries of Defense, Ministries of Regional Development, Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Ministries of Infrastructure. And that's with all this cooperation that we have started to work. But also cooperation between the private sectors. The Palestinian private sectors, the Israeli private sectors, the French private sectors. Because yes, of course, nothing, and you are right, will never replace a diplomatic achievement and the creation of a state of Palestine. But the creation of a state is not enough. Economy is not enough, but the creation of a state neither. And I do believe that we also have to prepare the day after peace. And the day after peace needs to be prepared now by working on the economy, working on education. So with some of our friends, and I want also to pay tribute to my friend Corinne Evans, with the French Jewish investors who decided to, at all her life, she has been dedicated to peace. But she decided that peace was not only negotiations and the declaration, but that was fact in the ground, that was believing in people, believing that we can change the things. And that's why she had decided to invest in Bethlehem with some Palestinian private sectors. Today, we have already a land that was almost rented by French and Palestinian people. And also, 1 year ago, I came with a delegation of French businessmen, among them the biggest French companies, Renault, Schneider Electric, L'Oréal, Publicis, and others. And do you know why they came? They came because I told them that we were going first in Israel and then in the Palestinian territories. And that they were hosted by Silvan Shalom and by Prime Minister Salam Fayyad. Because I'm going to be very blunt, as I said, I'm not a diplomat. When I went to see some French businessmen and I asked them, would you like to invest in the Palestinian territories? This is very good for peace, this is very good for stability, this is very good for building the future. You know what was the answer? Why, in the middle of an economic crisis, I'm going to take the risk to put my money in the Palestinian area where Israel can destroy everything in one day? And the answer was, no, you can. Because the Israelis are in favor of it, and they're going to help you. They came in Israel. They met with the private sector, and I want to also say thank you to David Simcha, who helped me very much on that. They met the private sector. They met Sylvain Shalom. They met Ehud Barak, who said, yes, we do encourage you to invest in the Palestinian territories, and we will help you. And it is these words, these meetings, that also with the encouragement and the assurance of Salam Fayyad, that decided some French companies to go and to invest in Bethlehem. So that's why, my friends, I want to say that I'm somebody who can say, yes, it is possible to make cooperation and coordination. Yes, it is possible to invest in the Palestinian territories, but for me, at the only condition that is with coordination. And this is why I say to my Palestinian friends, please, think the day after September. I know it's going to be October and November. We all know about that. But what will happen to all the projects that we have been fighting for? What will happen to the spirit of collaboration and coordination? And this is why, like Shimon Peres, I think that economy is very important. Dignity is very important. But let's do it together with renewing the talks, Israeli and Palestinian talks, bilateral talks, because that's the way it will happen. And I don't think that at the UN that will be the solution.
Thank you, Ms. Offenberg.